Well, good morning all, and welcome to another video on solar EVs and kilowatts. It's this morning I wanted to talk a little bit about the new Myenergi web-based platform, long awaited. I must admit the app is really good for setting up charging and boosting, etc., and energy usage, but I don't know. A web-based platform, I think, is a little bit clearer, a little bit easier to use. And what they've also done, Myenergi, is they've linked up Octopus, Agile, Tariff as well, which is fantastic. Myenergi have got Octopus, I should say, have got a link up with a number of devices, Ohm to mention one of them, in actually releasing cheaper electricity prices to these platforms in order to maximize on the cheaper times of the day. So I think I'm right in saying this is the first time Myenergi have had a link up with Octopus, and in releasing this web-based platform, you can embraces that idea, and as I say, a nice platform here to use. So it only came in yesterday. I signed up for it yesterday. It hasn't really been that well publicized either. I think it's a beta product. They're just sort of setting it up for sort of people kind of signing in to use it, see how it works, really, just to gather some information and sort of test run the product. Like I say, I didn't see it anywhere on sort of public forums as such. It was only through the Myenergi forum discussion chat room that I was sort of flicking through and saw somebody talking about it, because I was having a problem with the setup between my Zappi and my Eddi communicating with each other, which I'll talk about more in a second. That I actually picked it up, saw the link on there, and was directed to it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why Myenergi haven't sort of openly publicly done this, and you have to sort of dig through some forum. Perhaps they might do in the future, and as I say, this might just be a test bed. So let's just have a quick look around it. So once you go through the link and you sign up for it, you just need your name, your email address, set up a password, and then you go through some other questions. It literally only takes a couple of minutes, and then you tell it what Octopus Energy, or I guess not just Octopus, it might actually, I think it actually gives you some others as well, Eon, etc. But I'm Octopus Energy, as you know, so you click on the Agile, Tariff, a few other details which are optional, and then you're in, basically. Once you give it the details of your hub and the password you use for your Myenergi devices, literally within just a few seconds, it's linked up, and then you're presented after signing with this page. So there's a few things here I can't show you because I've got my personal information on there, addresses, telephone numbers, etc. And so I'm not going to go into some of these pieces, but you don't really need to know. The profile and that sort of stuff is neither here nor there. But so just going on the Myenergi account, just clicking along the top here, you've got your account, email address. Well, there it is. Marketing preferences is what you want to, what you don't mind them pinging out to you. Profile, of course, that's just you and your password, etc. Your energy setup. Okay, so I've got your address again here. Octopus Energy and Agile Octopus. Your renewable generation. This is optional, and also your output's optional. Don't know why it is. Perhaps again that's just data gathering for Myenergi. And then your devices. So once you sign in, you tell it what your hub information is. Then of course your hub carries all the information about your Eddi and your Zappi, and yeah, there it is. So you can see here our hub details, and you can see here we've got the Eddi, Zappi and Harvey, and serial numbers, etc. You can also add another device there if you need to. Some people are running two Harveys because they've got more than 3 CTs because of battery storage and this, that, and the other. So that's where you would add it with your, excuse me, with your serial number. Like I said last night, the Zappi wasn't communicating with the eddi, which was a bit of a bummer because I really wanted to use the platform to top up the battery. It would have only needed a couple of percent, so it would only really for a test. But anyway, it's working fine now this morning. I do actually get that from time to time, and from speaking to the guys at Myenergi, it seems that the distance between my eddi and my Zappi is just a little bit too far, and with just about everything in our house operating on Wi-Fi, I suspect that the signal sort of being bounced off and isn't always able to connect to the Zappi. So there are occasions when I don't get communication with it, and I have to manually go into the Zappi to actually set any charging. I'm hoping to remedy that with a cable which is going to extend the aerial into my loft out to the front of my house, which will then put it much closer to the Zappi. But I'll do another video on that another time. So that's your account settings, and that gets your devices, and then you've got up here Myenergi usage. And this is why the web-based platform is so much better. It's okay on the iPhone. I've got an iPhone 11 Pro. It's got quite a big screen. There are bigger, but still, you don't just get the full usability or get the full potential out of the app. And you can see here really clearly what's gone on. So just looking at last night, so just walk through it first. What are device usage we've got on here, which is quite cool. The Zappi, well, there you go. You can see 0 kilowatts last night. I did actually schedule a boost last night because it did go below 4p at various points in the evening. So I did set that up, but of course there wasn't any communication with the hub, so it didn't work. The eddi, however, did, and that put in 5.3 kilowatts last night, so that was good to see. It's all color coded here, what the home's consumed, what the Zappi's consumed, what the eddi's consumed, very similar to the app, but the presentation of the data is that much clearer. So yeah, so there you can see the home consumption, general home consumption. We had the washing machine on last night, and perhaps even the dishwasher, so that was sort of going up and down as the water was being heated and the drum was spinning. And you've got the eddi here showing pretty much 3 kilowatts bar sort of in some internal resistance being generated here for that period there. This is where it would have reached its temperature and then dropped off, and then for a period of night nothing happened, and then boom, up it went again for 3 kilowatts, just sort of top itself up. I find the eddi does that quite a bit. And I suppose what happened, it's quite fair really. What is that, 1:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning, so sort of 2.5 hours before it kicked off again. I guess it does that because the element is surrounded in hot water. It's immersed as an immersion heater, and when the element senses that temperature, or the thermostat senses the temperature and the water that it's surrounded in, then it trips off. Then when the water around it cools down, the element then cools down, the thermostat cools down, and then it heats up again. And sometimes you can see quite a few sort of little spikes like this happening as the thermostat is kind of finding the medium for the temperature. So yeah, that's quite cool. That's you can see you can click in and out of these as well, so you can turn the data off. So if I only want to see what the eddi's done, I can do that. Again, or you can have nothing. That's very similar to what you can see on the app as well. What have we got here? Yesterday as well, we can see what's going on. That's quite cool, isn't it? And then what we've done in the week. So I really like that. If you're really sort of hungry for data, this is a really good presentation to see. And you can see how your home is using its energy and at what times of the day you're doing it. If you want to have a look more closely at something at a period during the day, you can actually move this slide bar across. I think this is a really useful function of the platform as well. You can't do this, I don't think, from the app, so this is really nice to see. Yeah, so we'll take that all away, and we can take that down to the 3rd of November, the beginning of 3rd of November, where we started. So yeah, that's really good. So okay, that's a flexible tariff, my energy usage, the various selections you can make on here, and then we're back to consumed and export. Yeah, all right, so this is where we started off today. Not sure if I've covered this already, but this was the consumption last night. This is all imported 9.7. That sounds quite a lot, but not to those of you that have got batteries and similar sort of setup to me. I don't have a battery. So yeah, 5 kilowatts, peaking up to nearly 6 as the eddi and the various consumption items we had on last night: washing machine, dishwasher, etc. And then again, you can see here that's where the eddi was peaking last night again, and then a few peaks around this morning where I boiled the kettle 2 or 3 times to make a cup of tea, and I was ironing the kids' uniform. Anyway, that all sounds a little bit boring, doesn't it? So back to the Myenergi account, and we have what do we have? Okay, so here's the flexible tariff tab. So this is what you're presented with. You see here we're on Agile Octopus, Octopus Energy, and you've got Tuesday the 3rd of November, and the platform integrated with Agile has recognized that between midnight and 4:30 as the cheapest times to boost. Now that could be for your eddi or your Zappi. So a number of options you've got here for the eddi. You'll notice here a waiting tariff. I think that's because after 4:30 in the evening is when Agile or Octopus release the Agile prices. So it's already got the information from yesterday as to when the cheapest time is. So yeah, obviously you can see here that the prices go up, so it's already made that decision for us. I wonder what would happen if suddenly around lunchtime it dropped negative or something, whether or not we'd actually see something here. We'll have to wait and see. I say this is a beta product. This is sort of day 1 of the usage, so we'll get more information, and I'll happily post some more if I can improve on this. But so there's the eddi. You can have a scheduled boost here. You turn it on, and then you can edit that. So tell us when you need the hot water in the tank, and we'll heat it for the cheapest price according to your tariff. So if you need it on for a certain time of the day, then or by a certain time on a certain day, and for how long you want it, it'll look during that time on that day, and it will charge up at the cheapest point. Turn that off, and then this is quite a good one here. So you know, if you only really want this on when it's below a certain price. I mean, we've got gas here, so I don't need to charge the eddi. Don't need to boost the eddi immersion heater with electricity really that often. I only ever do it when it's very cheap. Really, when it's below sort of 3 pence, because I mean we've got still quite an old gas boiler, but gas is really cheap. So and it pumps it in really quick because obviously boilers are very powerful. So I don't use it. I did it last night just as a bit of a trial because it was around sort of 3 to 4p on average last night. But let's take a look at it then. So I think this is really good. So if you really only want to do this when it's at a certain price, and you're not absolutely desperate for the energy, because with the boiler you can just turn it on anytime you like, set the limit on what you want to pay, and will automatically heat your tank when your tariff drops below this price. Brilliant. So on mine, I've got just the one. I've called it the thermostat. I don't have 2 elements in there. You can with the eddi have 2 elements, one at the top for a quick shower, or at the bottom one for the bath. To be honest with you, the 3 kilowatt one, if it's on, if it puts 9 kilowatts in, it's enough for all 4 of us to have a reasonable shower. So I just have the one on, and we don't bath. So when the price is below 3 pence per kilowatt at any time, it will boost. Brilliant. I think that's the simplest and probably cheapest way to do it, and of course that will take into account any time of the day, assuming this is all correct, of course. Zappi is a few more options you've got here. A scheduled charge, again you'll notice it's a waiting tariff. Larry is the name of our leaf. So tell us how much charge you need each day, and we'll automatically charge at the cheapest times according to your tariff. So if you use your car daily to go to work and you need you come back from work and your battery's half full and you need it full for whatever reason, you can tell it how much electrical energy you need, when you need it by, and on what days. You can use this sliding scale here. 100%, 155 miles. This setting actually is in the registration when you tell it what car you want and how many miles real world range you get. So that's where it's getting that data from. That's not automatically promulgated. You put this in. So I know with Larry at 100% real world, 155 miles is achievable on a reasonable day. So I've done some range tests in the past on some of my previous videos. So by 8 o'clock in the morning on those days, my EV will be plugged in by the same day. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's there, because if you don't get these numbers right, then I'm assuming it won't start charging until this point. So we'll have to see. And of course you can add you can add any number of sort of different schedules here, etc. So I think this will become more and more useful as we get used to it. Single charge plan, when you need some extra charge, and we'll charge at the best price. So add a single charge, add a schedule. So tell us how much charge you need in a specific day. Automatically charge at the cheapest time on your tariff. There's a little reminder here that anything you set in here will override what's actually hard programmed into the eddi or the Zappi. So got to be careful of that. I tend not to hard program only when the Zappi isn't communicating. As I say, that happens maybe a couple of times a month, and probably once or twice I've ever had to really manually charge it and then I delete it because the app's then working okay. So yeah, because you add a schedule here, so many kilowatts by a certain time on that day. When it's plugged in, again you've got that selection here. So yeah, cool. But what I was really impressed with was his budget charge. So you tell it how cheap you want to charge it. I've just put 5p in here because I know Go is 5p. So if I can get it at Go prices or less, I'll charge it. Yeah, so I've got solar panels as well, so we can charge a car with solar. I've got some free charging sort of destination chargers around me here where I live. So yeah, I don't really want to charge the car up when it's anything more than 5p. So that's what I've set that up as, and that's basically it. So yeah, some really useful functions there. What I'll do is after 4:30, Octopus release their Agile prices for the following day up until 11 o'clock. I think it is the following day, or 11:30. Yeah, I think it's 11:30. And we'll see what we've got. Just see how this works again, and we'll set up another charge. Hopefully the Zappi will behave itself, and we might get another charge in there. I think even if it is above 5p, I might just do it just to kind of see if it works. Yeah, I guess that's how that's going to work. So we'll see how that happens this evening. So hopefully you found that useful. I'll put some more in when I know a little bit more. As I say, this is just day one, and thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.